when you're at a club and it's like 2 or 3 in the morning, they turn on all the lights and they start putting like this old school hip hop, old school R&B music. You know it's time for you to go home. You know, they're trying to tell you in a very subtle and decent way to like, please take your ass home. Like, you hear this song. Closing time. That's the sign. That's the moment you're supposed to leave. But there's always that one person that says, you know what? I want another drink. And I want to party a little bit longer. That person, my friends, is Rodrygo Goes. Madrid is literally telling this man it's over. And he doesn't understand, like a very toxic boyfriend that does not want to let go of his trophy girlfriend or trophy wife, whatever you want to call it. Now, back in the day, when Vinicius was taking over, Rodrygo said, you know what, I think I'm better than him. I'm gonna compete. Then Mbappé came over and he's like, okay, I'll play on the right. Now, he's not getting any game time. They have Arda Güler starting over him. Mastantuono, who just got there, starting over him. They had Dani Ceballos in a game go in instead of him as a sub, okay? And to play his position, right? So if he's not getting the hints at this moment, like what's it gonna take? I mean, my man, you have Martinelli. I am an Arsenal fan. I just want to put this out there. I'm an Arsenal fan. And you have Gabriel Martinelli being called up for the national team before you. Gabriel Martinelli. Come on, man. I'm an Arsenal fan, and I don't even rate Martinelli. Okay. And not only that, but he's being called up to the national team by your ex-manager, who you played with for years at Real Madrid. So there's clearly something wrong with your career choice if this is what you want to do. Now, Rodrygo had a host of teams wanting him, okay? I'm going to talk about 3 of them specifically, but a host of them that would have been considering about 90 million. I know Madrid was offering 100. I think teams would have gave like 80 or 90, and Madrid would have been like, you know what? You got it. You know, we're not going to use them. 80 mil will be good. 90 mil will be good. The man said, you know what? I'm not going. Kind of like Leonardo DiCaprio in The Wolf of Wall Street.
You know what? I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving!
The worst part is, ESPN even came out and said this man, he wants to play left wing. Not even right wing. Like he's trying to challenge Vinicius. That's not gonna happen, bro. You're done out here, man. You should have been left to England, right? You should have left in July. You shouldn't even have tried to go to the Club World Cup. But listen, we're gonna talk about 3 teams that I think would have treated Rodrygo like the Messiah, right? And the 3 teams, the first team I'm gonna talk about, and I have it listed here, is Manchester City, right? Guardiola has played against Rodrygo a bunch of times. A lot of good games that Rodrygo has been against Manchester City's Guardiola's Manchester City. And I think, listen, like, Doku's a great dribbler, right? He cannot shoot and he cannot pass. So he's basically Madueke. We just seen what Marmoush offers Manchester City. He's not him at the wing. Maybe at striker he can do something. He's never gonna get in over Erling Haaland. But as a winger, Marmoush is not him, okay? I think Rodrygo would have been a great signing for Manchester City. Like, Manchester City were interested and they were willing to let go of Savinho, but when they saw the reluctance of both Madrid and Rodrygo, because Madrid kept saying, like, we're not going to sell. You know, we're not really trying to sell him. And Rodrygo was like, he's saying, like, I'm not really trying to leave. So it's like they were both playing chicken and they both ended crashing into each other. And Manchester City is just like, okay, so you're not really trying to sell and you're not really trying to leave, we'll just keep Savinho. And I think that's what ended up happening. And so Manchester City, that's the question. They had Liverpool. I think Liverpool would have been a great option for Rodrygo because that would immediately help him win trophies, which is supposedly what he said he wants. Liverpool, they just signed Isak. the deal with Mark Wahey fell through, but they signed Isak, and they have a formidable attack, a very good coach, and a team that already was champion and is looking like they want to be champions again of everything, because that team is insane. Okay, I think Rodrygo, maybe he wouldn't have started immediately because Gakpo's there. I think he would have eventually overtook Gakpo, because I feel Gakpo is a player that he always wants to cut inside and shoot. Cut inside and shoot. He never... Gakpo is Martinelli but with a shot, okay? Like, he can cut in and shoot, whereas Martinelli will cut in and do nothing, right? But what Gakpo never does is pass. He'll have like 3 of his teammates wide open and he'll still shoot, you know? So I think Rodrygo had a little bit more IQ in that sense. Like, he will pass the ball, and he's done it at Madrid. Like, he will assist or he will shoot. He can shoot with both legs. He can play the 10. He can play striker. He can play both wings. I believe Rodrygo is very versatile, right? And I think he would have suited that for Liverpool. Like, Liverpool really likes versatile players. Still, the third option, which I think would have been the best option for him, because it would immediately solidify his place in the national team, would have been Arsenal, because he would have immediately been the starter, making him the starter over Martinelli, guaranteeing his place in the Brazilian national side, because Ancelotti would have not picked Martinelli if Rodrygo was starting over him, right? And that would have been just perfect. That would have been like, hey, I'm going to Arsenal, I guarantee my spot in the World Cup, and I'm going to a team that's very competitive, that looks like they want to win on paper, right? As far as on the pitch, it's kind of questionable. But that's a video for another day. I think Rodrygo at Arsenal would have been received as the second coming of Thierry Henry. Okay, I think what Eze brought to Arsenal, like everybody just cheering for him, I think Rodrygo would have been exactly the same. Everybody would have been cheering for this dude. Now, to be honest, I did not want Rodrygo. I do not want Rodrygo. I want one player on that left wing and one player only. I've been saying this since last season, and that man is Antoine Semenyo. I want him. That's, to me, he is that dude. I think he is what Saka is, okay? Like, I think they're similar players. Like, he can carry the ball, very strong, can shoot with both feet. He's faster than Saka. He's a little bit more skillful than Saka. I think Saka has a better shot than him. But and just a better vision for passes than him. But he does play similar to Saka. Anyways, this is about Rodrygo. I think my preference is Semenyo, but if Rodrygo were to go to the club, I wouldn't be mad at it. You know, I don't think Rodrygo is 90 million worth, but again, it's not my money. So 90 million, 100 million, whatever Arsenal would have decided to spend on him, great, good for us. But I would be happier if we got Semenyo, okay? Anyways, I think Rodrygo fumbled huge. I think Rodrygo is that toxic boyfriend that cannot let that ex-girlfriend go. Madrid doesn't want you anymore, my guy. They are done with you. They want to break up, and you're not getting the message, man. Anyways, I think Rodrygo for freaking sure leaves in the January transfer window. There's no way he stays at Madrid because they're not going to play him. I mean, you have Arda Güler starting over you. You have Mastantuono starting over you. I guarantee you they'll put Bellingham out there and just makeshift the midfield before they run him there, man. It's just not going to happen. He's not going to play. They'll throw in Carvajal as a winger and leave Trent as a fullback before they run this dude out. He will never be a starting winger for Madrid again. I can guarantee you. Maybe in Copa del Rey, and I doubt it. I just think they're going to try to minimize his playtime because they're not going to want him to get injured so they can get rid of his ass in 3 months from now. I think that's what's going to happen. But anyways, I'd love to know your opinion. Trying to make this comeback onto YouTube, speaking a little bit more about football, speaking about FC26. If you want to know my top 5 craziest predictions for the Premier League this year, it's that video up there. If you want to know how EA Sports is going to take money from you this year or in the future, it's that video up there. Thank you very much for watching. It's been your boy Full Metal Zoe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.